What is a vector and how do we define it? When we work with a vector, if we don't know what the vector is about, we just call it V for vector. And we can start out by looking at two dimensions. So there is a1 and a2 here, and we call these vector input. So this is a vector input and this is an input. So combined they make a vector, and we can represent this vector in a coordinate system with an arrow, and basically this arrow could be anywhere. So what we know about this arrow is that it has a magnitude or a length, but often we call it magnitude. And it has a direction. So this is the direction, and we could continue this direction anywhere. So this is the direction. So we know that when we have a vector, we have a magnitude and a direction. So if I placed a vector with the same direction and the same length further below or anywhere else, it would be the same vector because we don't know where it is. We just know it has a magnitude and a direction. So if we wrote a specific vector, vector 1, and often we make such a little arrow over here to show that this is a vector, and we could say it had 2 and 3. So this could be a vector. This could be a normal vector. And if I wanted to put that as an arrow into a coordinate system, again, I could start anywhere. So I could start from 0.0 origo. And to make this vector, the first input shows me that I need to go 2 steps out on the x-axis. So 1, 2. And the 3 shows that I need to go 3 steps up on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So right here is where the vector needs to end. So it goes up here and here. There you go. So this is a vector, but again, we could place this vector anywhere. So I could have done the same starting here, and then it might end something like here. It would be the same vector. But often if we want to show it, it's easier to show that it starts from origo. It doesn't matter where we show it unless we have it told. So this is how you represent the vector from this, and this is how you write up the vector. You could also go the other way around, and I could draw a vector here like this, and I could say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I could take this vector and draw it like this, so we know it goes to here and here. And then I could say, well, if I wanted to write this vector up, vector 2, then it will be 4 out of the x-axis and 3 out of the y-axis. So we could also go from the representation to the vector. Right now we've only actually looked at the direction. Well, we've also looked at a length, but not directly. But we can, when we have this vector, we can calculate the length or the magnitude of the vector. And in 2 dimensions, we can look at the length of this actually as some sort of right triangle. If we look at this, then we can see there's a right triangle here. So we can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate the length of this vector. And when we want to calculate the length, we use such a line here, vector 2, and a line here. And if we use Pythagoras theorem, we know that this is the square root of one of the sides squared. So that's 4 squared, and the other side squared. The other side is 3, so 3 squared. So this will end up be the square root of 25 or 5. So the magnitude of this vector is 5. So this is how you calculate the length of the vector as well. As last, I will show you how to add or subtract vectors to each other. So if I get the v1 up here, v1 vector, and that was 2 and 3. That was the one we used earlier. And if I want to see, well, what is vector, well, I need to use a v here. So what is vector 1 plus vector 2? So that'll be vector 1 here. So 2, 3 plus vector 2, which was 4, 3. To add vectors to each other, you take the inputs. So the first input plus the first input over here, second input plus the second input here. So it would be a new vector, 4 plus 2. Oh, this goes down here, and 3 plus 3. So it will be a new vector, which is 6 and 6. And actually, when you add two vectors together, you will see that if I draw a vector here and another vector here, if I add these two vectors, I will get this vector. But I will show you that in a new video if you subscribe to my channel. So, what do we have now? We have added these vectors, but we can also subtract vectors from each other. So if I take v2 minus v1, and it will be v2 for 3 minus v1, which was 2, 3. And then, as you probably already guessed, first input minus first input, and second input minus second input. So this will be the vector 2, 0. So it'll be a vector going in this direction. All right, that's all I had today. I hope you liked it. Please give a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me. And please comment if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.